Is your heart into recycling? Mine is. So grab a few nail polishes and some recycled packaging and let's have some fun creating little treasures out of trash. Hello everyone, it's Dragana at Saacibo. Welcome back to my channel. There's just so much potential in our recycling bin, don't you agree? And most of you would have some sort of nail polish lying around unused and forgotten. And if not, they're just so easy to obtain, no need for the expensive stuff. So in today's video, I want to bring those two together and create some little charms. We're gonna have so much fun today. Before we go on with the project, I just quickly want to show you where I got the inspiration from. I bought some of these cabochon pendants in a craft shop and then I had a play with nail polishes and marbling effect, and then I've added a bit of resin on top. They are really nice and I like them, but I find that they're a little bit too heavy and too large to use, for example, in junk journals, if you want to attach to a tab, to a page, and so on. Perhaps it's okay to use on gifts and pendants for necklaces, but they would be heavy for earrings. So I was thinking, how can I replicate that and just use cardstock and have a similar effect, but much lighter? So we're going to make like a version of this, but with cardstock. Today we are going to use just basic tools. If you are a serious crafter, you might be able to do this with more advanced tools and get even better results, but we're going to stick with the basics today. So I'd say number one, get a reliable glue. That's absolutely essential for this project, and something to cut the cardstock with. If you happen to have some punches, it would be great if you have a smaller and a larger one. It can be like large and small circle, or if you have some other shapes as well. Smaller one for cutting out the inner piece and larger one for the final shape. If you don't have any punches, you can just use scissors and a knife. You would have to do the cutout with a knife and then do the outside with either knife or scissors. And of course, if you have Sizzix die cutting machine and some dies, then the sky would be the limit. Just use those. I'm not going to do that today. One of the nail polishes that you're going to use should be a clear one, because you will need to protect your charm once it is completed. It can be a gloss one or a matte one. And also, if you don't have any glitter nail polish, you can use just plain glitter and mix it with the clear nail polish and you'll end up with the glitter nail polish. That's just to add a little bit of sparkle. Of course, that is optional. It would be good if you find a piece of styrofoam and some cocktail sticks. That will help you with the drying process. And if you prefer the vintage or distressed look, then emery board or maybe a simple sanding block would be good. We will also need to paint the edges of your charm, and for that you can use nail polish as well, although it does extend the process time a little bit. So I prefer to just use markers or distress ink or maybe gilding wax, and even acrylic paint is good for that. So any of those would be fine. Did I forget something? Oh yes. At the end, once it's all done, you will need to punch a hole for the top of your charm so that you can attach perhaps jump rings. You will need your pliers with that. If you don't want to mess with that, just use some of these bulb pins, especially if you're making charms for journals. Even just a simple string would do, depending on how you intend to use the charm in the end. Now let's take a look at the cardstock that we need for this project. I have a few examples here. That's a very nice pattern. I think it was a scented candle I got as a present. So whenever I see something that has a really nice design or pattern that is small, so that when you cut it out, it's going to look all right, I guess, I keep it. Got this one with the stripes, then there's that one with little diamonds. This is a floral one that can be used too. I'm just giving you examples. I don't know what sort of packaging you have. These are just some that I think would work. Even that one, and that looks interesting too. And this one's also very pretty, I think. So these are just some examples, and have a look through your bin. See what you can find. You don't really need much. Just remember, these charms are really small, and if you don't have anything that you want to use and it doesn't inspire you or it's not interesting, doesn't matter. You can still use it. You can take it apart and paint it. I've done that a couple of years ago in a video in which we made junk journal ephemera from recycled packaging. I still have some pieces left. This is all packaging that's been taken apart and painted on one side, on the white side. You can also paint on that side, which has the print. It's up to you. And of course, if you don't feel like doing that extra step and you don't have some already made, you can always just grab any cardstock and glue papers over. You can glue book pages. You can glue magazine pages. I've got this one from some crafting magazine, and I think I kept it because I really liked these squares. They would be perfect to glue onto a cardstock and then cut for charms. You can also use your scrapbooking paper scraps. Okay, anything that has interesting design that's printable actually. Okay, so any sort of scraps that you think might look interesting once cut into a charm shape, and also your own painted papers, your jelly prints. I think that one would look interesting. That is toilet paper roll that I've embossed and then painted. You can use those as well. More jelly prints, marble papers that was painted with leftover inks from the printer, more marble papers, more embossed papers. You know, you get the idea. Now, as said at the beginning, we are going to use punches. Remember, you only need two, smaller and a larger, but if you have a few of them, you can really make different and unique charms. When I first got the idea to do this, I've only used 1-inch round punch and I used the heart one. And I absolutely loved the results. If you have perhaps, what's this, 1.5-inch round and a flower or a butterfly or something, it would still work. If you don't have any punches, I will show you what you can do then, and you can still make beautiful charms without the punches, but it's much easier if you have some. So let's just start with one. I really want to use those two because I really like them. Just open them up, it's easier. Start with 1-inch punch. I'll just go as far as I can. Okay, now take a look at this. If I try to now punch the heart here, I won't be able to tell if it's in the middle or not. Perhaps with the small one, with the star, I could. These ones would not work. They're actually just the same size, so it's not going to work. If I want to fix that, I would take a larger one and keep that as the opening, and then go here all the way to the edge. I'll just go like that. Okay, so now that becomes the shape, and I'm going to do something in the middle. I need the back, and I might as well just use the same. For the back, you can also glue words or add something else. That's going to be the first one. Let's try the one with the heart. I'll just get rid of this part here. That's not really nice. And I'm going to punch the heart first. It's a bit thicker cardstock, and I'll take one for the back. Okay, so that's going to be small one with the heart. Let's go here with the large one. We're going to use that for the back. What would look good with that one? Maybe a butterfly. Let's just cut the butterfly first, and then we're going to use that same punch, and I'll turn it this way so that you can see better. Okay, so that one is going to be with the butterfly. I think I want to use that one with the flower. Cut that off, and then the square. And we need one more. This one looks nice, the red one. Let's do a small circle first, and then we'll do the square. If you have some corner rounders, you can use them too. Let's say we want to change the shape of that one. We can do that, and then use a smaller one here. there, or you can even go for the larger one there, so it's like so. Okay, just do the same with this one. I could perhaps do the star. Okay, let's try some of the other papers too. Okay, let's take this one. I'm gonna go like this first, and then I'm going to use the square one. Oh, that's going to be nice, I think. And another one for the back. Let's do one more square. I just want to show you this. Now on one, I want to add the heart, but not like so, but like so. Okay. Now I want to turn that into a diamond, so I'm going to just cut it perhaps like that. Just do that, and then I'm going to use that same bit, place it here, and cut it. And now I have a diamond shape, and I'm going to use that now to cut the back. So we have a diamond one. Now if you have some corner punches, like decorative ones, you can use them as well. Let's try that one there on this one. That immediately changed the look. So I'm gonna have to do the same with the back. With the flower one, perhaps I can do that one. Okay, we haven't done this one. I think this one looks like a good one. This is a bit hard because that one doesn't really have much room. I'll push it as far as I can, and I hope it leaves at least a little bit with my round punch, just like that. And let's cut one for the back. Okay, I want to do more of the small ones, maybe this here. We haven't done any with book pages, and I think they would look really interesting. And because book pages are thin, you really need to glue them onto some cardstock, perhaps onto this small piece. Just glue that. I'll let that dry a little bit. Maybe we can try one with this sort of cardstock. Let's do the flower one. And one for the back. Good. I have this marbled paper that was done on recycled cardstock. If I cut this square piece first, and then the dragonfly, but I want to cut it like this on an angle. Okay, it worked. Cut one more for the back. I could also turn that into a little diamond. I remember that I have this punch too, so I'm gonna go with that like so. I'm gonna cut it across here straight, and then I'm going to use that again. Doesn't it look like a little diamond? Now we'll have to cut this one the same. Is that what we did? Straight. Okay. So you see, you don't really need much. Just use your scraps. Let's imagine you don't have any of the punches. So you only have your scissors, and you have a knife, and possibly this one. Let's say if I do like 3 holes, something like that, and then I can do either straight or random. and maybe have it here on an angle. Simply trace. I just have a piece of paper here. I'm going to fold it once. Okay, so what you do now, just grab your pencil, then just follow the shape, trace around it. Okay, let's grab a cutting mat. I'll just go over with the marker because it's hard to see. So just go like that. And then grab your scissors, follow that here, here, there. Okay, and then you just go around this and you'll have a back, the same style. And look how many different ones we've created just with humble punches. Now, one more thing I want to say before we continue. You can use just 2 layers, okay? And it would work all right, I guess. But if you want to have a little bit of, what's the word, meat, add at least 1 more layer of cardstock between that one and that one. I like to use something that doesn't have a shiny side so that both of my pieces can be glued easily. So I'm gonna go for one here. So I'm going to sandwich them. So that would be a nice decent size. I can go with 1 more, but I don't think really it's necessary for that one. For this one, I just love the little heart ones. And that one with the star. Just wish that star is a little bit bigger. Just to 3 sides 10 millimeters and 1 side 4 millimeters. Is that right? That's a nice one. I could just now follow this. I don't have to go and cut with punches again. Just follow. It certainly is quicker. Same here. And 1 more left. Now it's all about gluing these together, so I guess we can start doing that. Use a reliable glue. I wouldn't recommend glue stick, okay? It's not really permanent and it might start peeling off. Use white glue or acetone based glue. So you just go in and glue them all together. Okay. Now you need to let them dry and put something flat and heavy over like a book. Now I have to glue all of them. Lucky me. Now if you decide to add some words at the back, or perhaps another image or something, I don't know, initials, letters, numbers, inspirational words, you need to do that now. I'm not going to do that today. I just want these to be about charms. So no words, just shapes and colors. I will quickly glue all of these together and then we will continue. So I'll see you in a bit. I've placed the charms inside of this sketchbook to flatten them out a bit. Let's take a look. They look nice. Nice and flat and dry. Okay. My favorite part of this process is painting them. But before we do that, there's just a few more steps that we need to do. We have to punch the holes like this. And we're going to put jump rings or use just bulb pins. You need that so that you can attach them to your journals, to your dangles, to your gifts, or even if you make earrings and whatever you can think of. Okay, so let's just punch holes in all of them quickly. Notice that this one wasn't positioned really in the middle, it's more to one side. Now I can fix that by cutting a little bit here and creating a completely different shape. It just looks odd, I think, to have it uneven like that. So I'm gonna put it aside. Now this one I can have it that way or this way. I think it's too close to here, so I'm gonna punch a hole on that side, like so. Okay, that one's all right. I'm gonna turn it this way. Less distractions. Okay, and then that one. One, the lucky last is meant to be here. Okay, if you just need to do a little bit of smoothing, emery board is fine. Just fix it. Smooth it out if there's any glue or rough edges. So with these ones that were done with packaging that hasn't been painted, you see it's really shiny. You can choose to leave it shiny if that's what you like, or you can distress it a little bit. I like to distress it with the sanding block. Okay, and then the other side. Gently, just scratch it a little bit to remove that shine. If you go too much, you will get rid of the whole image, and I don't want that. I still want to see what's there, but I don't want it that shiny. Okay, something like that. And I can do the same here on this side. I'm going to do the same with this one. And also, if you decide to ink the edges, the ink is going to show better if the edges are a little bit sanded. So I'm going to do this to all of them, and then we'll do the next step. They're all sanded, and I fixed that one. I kept cutting it and making mistakes, and now it's not circle at all. It's something different. It's that shape. It should look all right. Now the next step would be to color these edges. I think on this one, if I just go like this and color with a marker, just like that. It helps that this tip is flat. Okay. And you can do that in any color, doesn't have to be black. It all depends of the charm. I think black would look good here too. Just go around and fix all of the... I think it makes them look more finished. You can't really see the layers then. So that's one way of doing it. Another way is with distress inks. So you just grab a little bit of ink. For example, let's do that one. And you just go around. See how it makes it really nice immediately. Just frames it. Okay, and the same here. You just use ink to color the edges. Let's do this one. So we're using brown ink on this red. So I'm going to go like this. I want to get rid of that white there. Okay. And because I've sanded it, it takes ink differently in the areas that are sanded off. It really gives it a nice look. It's not so shiny anymore. It looks distressed. Okay. If you happen to have some metallic pastes or gilding waxes, you can use them as well, either now or at the very end. So I think let's do that one. So you just put a little bit on your finger and you just go around. I'm using the silver here. I bought this, I don't know, probably 5 years ago. This stuff lasts so long and I use it a lot. This one's going to have the silver finish. Okay. And then of course there's acrylic paint. Maybe this one would look good with acrylic paint. This is just gold acrylic paint. So I'm going to grab this and add a little bit. And you just go around. Just like you would do with when you're working with ink. This paper was embossed, so it has raised parts. So it works really well when you add a touch of different paint over, and I'm going to do the same on this side, and I'm going to go over as well like this. It just looks really nice, I think, gold like so. And when you work with dry paint like this, it just dries really quickly. So let's do a little bit here. So you just lightly brush over with a flat part and very little paint. Okay, maybe we'll do that one too. Okay. So you don't have to have the fancy gilding waxes or inks, just acrylic paint would work too. Okay, kind of like this now. Should we do one more? Let's do this one. I have plenty of gold there, might as well use it. It looks good when you use it over darker colors, so let's try this one. We did put the black here, but that's all right. You can add a little bit of gold. I will complete the rest and then we'll continue with the project. They're all done, but I forgot to show you how to do the edges with just nail polish. I'm going to try it on that one, just with this black nail polish, if I have any. This is my new trick to open up old bottles of nail polish. Rather than running to my husband and asking him to open them, I'm just using these pliers. So what you do, you just tap like this. Just tap. Okay. This can be in any color. Doesn't have to be black. Can be red. I just think black would look good on this one. This styrofoam comes in handy, like so. Okay, so it's hanging there and drying. That needs to dry before we can continue working on it. What we do now is we fill out these holes, and we do that by filling it with either glitter nail polish or color nail polish, or with clear nail polish, and then we add glitter on top. It's totally up to you, and you can do it in several layers. You can start with one color and then build, and you can also have 2, 3 or 4 colors and then just swirl them and create like a marble effect. So we'll try that as well. I'll just show you first the heart shape because it's probably the easiest. Take your charm, take your nail polish, and you just add good amount inside. Don't worry about going all the way to the edges. Just let it spread, and then grab your cocktail stick and just push the polish into the corners and edges and grooves, depending on what shape you have here. Okay. Alright. As it dries, it will sink in a little bit, and then you can reapply the same one or you can add a clear one. It's up to you. Maybe this one would look good with pink. Got this glitter one and a I've got that. I'm going to start with this one, and if it doesn't work, I will add the other one when this dries. Okay. So you spread it out as much as you can with the brush, and then just use the cocktail stick. All right. This is just so much fun. And if you see that you don't have enough, you just go and add a few drops. Now, if your nail polish is really old and thick, perhaps add a little bit of nail polish remover to make it runnier. It will be easier to spread. I had one that was really old and it started kind of thickening as soon as I put it there. I ended up throwing away the whole charm because it just annoyed me. Didn't want to spread. I like the contrast between the glossiness of the nail polish or the enamel paint and the cardstock. I can see that it already started sinking in, but I'm not going to add any more. If it's too thick, it will take forever to dry. So I'm going to leave it. Let's do one with the marble effect. You see that one there? It has a little bit of red. It has a little bit of that light blue and a bit of silver. And I think I have just the right red. I have that similar blue. Perhaps a bit of silver. If you're going to do this marbling effect, I suggest do it with a simple shape like this. If it has too many areas to fill in, it's not going to work the best, or you won't have enough time to spread the paint. So I'm just going to do a simple one, just a few drops of red. I'll open all of them. Oh, that works like a charm. Let's see if that one's all right to use. Yes. The red one seems to be really runny, so I'm going to start with that one. Actually, I'm going to go and cover most of it with red. You want contrasting color, something that will stand out, but also something that's going to look good. You know, you don't want something that will clash in terms of colors. Even if you make a mistake and you don't like the result, just add a coat of different color. Or some glitter. Glitter works with everything, I think. Okay, let's just add a few drops of this. It's a metallic one. And maybe a little bit of silver. And then you grab the cocktail stick and you just swirl them a little bit. Bring the red all the way to the edge. So I'm just going to do this. Now that green actually changed into dark blue or grayish color when mixed with red. So I don't know if you'll add more. We want some of it there. And maybe a little bit more silver. It seems to be sinking into the red, So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave it, and then I will add a little bit more of the green once this top layer dries. I didn't expect it to kind of sink into the red completely. Really want to do this one. Maybe this glitter one. This one doesn't really spread that easily. Okay. When you have something like this dragonfly, it is a little bit tricky to spread it, but you just have to be patient and don't try to add too much in one go. I like this. You can also just grab this from the brush onto the stick. So. I might not even have to repeat this. It looks good. Okay, I'm very happy with that one. Cute. Okay, in case you don't have a nail polish in certain color and you have some glitter and just clear nail polish, I'll show you how to do that. This is kind of quite large, so I can get away perhaps with pouring it from the bottle straight. I'm trying to work fast before it thickens. In this case, this clear nail polish is going to work like a glue. It's going to bind the glitter to itself. Okay, here I've just gone a little bit over. I just clean it. Now grab your glitter and just sprinkle over. Like so. And then let the rest drop. And then you just let it dry. I think that looks really cute. Let's do the butterfly with this gold glitter. This is also a top coat, but it's full bottle, so it's easier to get to it. Spread it. Let's turn this to the gold. It seems like a lot, but I'm not gonna shake it off. I'm gonna let it stay like that until it dries. I really wanted to do this one. Let's do the red, like a ruby red. Okay, it's kind of really big, so I can do this. Just spread it out. I put a lot here in this one, but I don't think it's gonna go over. It tends to stay. whatever space you... Oh, I love that one. That's so good. That red one is really good. And another one I want to do with gold is this little star. I'm gonna go with the clear first. Okay, and then I'm gonna let it dry, and there's just a few more left. I think it would work if I have like a darker nail polish, say darker blue, and then add a little bit of that lighter blue or green on the wings. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go with this blue. This is so satisfying, isn't it? You know, when I bought this dragonfly punch, I thought it was a good idea, and it was just sitting in my drawer. I never used it, I think not once, for anything. I kept it because I had this feeling I'll figure out what to do with it, and I finally did. Because I really love what they look like this as a charm. All right, let that dry. This one seems to be touch dry. I think I can continue, so I'm going to add just the clear one. I'm gonna add a little bit of that pink. Just a bit. Shake it. Has this one dried? Perhaps if I add a little bit of that now, it might stay on the surface, just a few dots. Don't even have to mix. It looks like green berries. Okay, there's still a few left to do. So I was thinking of adding black here and then sprinkle with a bit of that. And I'm not sure about that one. I'll think about it. Maybe red or purple or something like that. And that one, I haven't decided yet. Anyway, I will work on these. Once this layer is completely dry, I'll come back and we'll continue the rest of the process together. Let's take a look. That one is okay as it is. This one, love it. That's what that looks like. Love this one. That one also turned out good. Just glitter everywhere. Love the little heart one. I ended up doing the green with a little bit of gold glitter, and this one just with red and also a bit of glitter. I left that one as it is, and it looks really nice and glossy, almost like glass. Now let's take a look at this one. I've added a little bit of clear nail polish to the wings and then a glitter, so I'm just going to do this. There's still some glitter stuck in there, but it doesn't matter. I think it looks very nice. I love it. And with that one, first I've done like a marble effect, and then I just sprinkled a little bit of this copper color glitter. Love that one. And this one I've painted first with that color, and then I've added copper glitter to the petals. So let's do this just to remove the excess. It's dry enough. Love how that one turned out. Okay, and the little star, let's reveal it. Love it. It's so cute, that one. Okay, I don't think I need any more glitter or any colors. All I need to do now is protect them. To do that, just clear nail polish or top coat would be enough, 1 or 2 coats. I also have this matte one that I bought ages ago and I never really liked how it looked on my nails. So maybe I'll do a few with that one just to see what happens. I'm gonna get my styrofoam and grab one of these cocktail sticks. I'm gonna secure it and then you just paint it. If you can paint both front and back and sides in one go, it's gonna save you a lot of time. We'll do this one with the glossy. I really like how that hat turned out. And the back. Now the sides. Just gonna fix it a little bit. And that is it. I'm gonna let it dry like that. Let's do that one with the matte nail polish. And I really like the contrast between the matte areas and the shiny ones. So what I would do in this case, I would paint the dragonfly with this, just one more coat over this glitter to secure it. So just go like that. Paint it like so. Okay, and then I would go with this one everywhere else. Now this one is gonna look just the same as this one. Once you apply that, it kind of looks glossy, but it dries matte. I plan to use this mainly in my junk journals. So I think one coat is enough, but you can certainly do more than one if you feel like it needs it. Okay, now the back. This is acrylic paint, so it's quite durable, I think, but it's always a good idea to add some protection. Okay, and now the sides. Okay, cool. So I need to do that with the rest of them. Here they are, nicely dried. And I'm very happy with how they turned out. Okay. While they were drying, I went ahead and I created a little freebie for you. These cards that you can use to cut and then display your charms. You've got one sheet with earrings. That's what it looks like once it's cut. Just give you an example. I've attached this pair of earrings here. Then you have one with dangle charms, which is long. And you have a sheet with these charms. And for example, that's what that looks like once it's cut. The same deal applies to all of the freebies as usual. To get the freebie, please visit my website. Link is up on the screen and below the video. Once you're there, close all the ads that pop up. You do not need to register, pay, or install anything. Do not leave your details, credit card information, or anything like that. If you wish to share this freebie, please share the link to my website. You are welcome to use it to display the charms that you make and sell. Okay. At the beginning of the video, I said that you will need either bulb pins, jump rings, or some string. And I'm going to show you first with these bulb pins. They're so easy to attach. You just open it up and you put it through the hole that you punched, for example that, and then you attach it to whatever you want. For example, I have this envelope pocket here, and if I want to attach that there, that's all I do. Just like that. And I can add other things. For example, if I have some other little charms, I can add them as well. For example, this little golden bee, I can put that one first, and then that, and that's what it's gonna look like, a little bee on top of a flower, like that. And it works beautifully. However, I prefer to put jump rings before I add the bulb pin. It just sits a little bit better and it doesn't really move around as much. Okay, let's install a jump ring. Let's try it with this little one. I love it. So I'm going to just go with the silver here. This one is, I think, 6 or 7 millimeters. Take a second pair of pliers and you just twist like that, and then you put it through. You can also add other things if you want to, and then you just close it. I was thinking of adding it here to this little folio. There's already a paper charm. I think it would look nice if I add that one too. Really love how that one turned out. With this one, I can just use this darker color. Open it up and then close it. I have this little envelope that already has one charm. That one. I think those two would look really nice together because of that green and black. I also have this bookmark, and I have a part here that's missing. It fell off and I can't seem to find it, and I was thinking that perhaps that one would look good there. So I'm just gonna grab a jump ring again, and I'm going to attach it straight onto that there, through here, then through here, and then close it. And there's my bookmark. For example, if I put it inside of the book, that part will be outside, and I'll be able to find the page that I marked easily. Love how that one turned out. Love that little red heart. I have this little envelope and there's some leaves there, and I was thinking, I'm gonna take that off. I was thinking that would look good with that one. I don't want the leaves to cover the whole thing, so I'm going to punch another hole at the bottom here, and I'm gonna grab a jump ring, open it up, and I'm gonna put it through those little leaves and then through this bottom bit here and close it like that. And then I can do just this, put it back here. Really love that. That purpley green color looks so nice with that one. Now let's put one together. I was thinking of maybe using that one there, and I have this piece, also made it a while ago and I had it ready. I think it would look good. And again, I have to punch a hole here. Like so. And then I'm going to add another jump ring at the top. And then close it. finish my display. I'm going to put that through and then through here and then close it. Could also add more things at the top. Let's attach one now with a piece of string. Perhaps that one would look good. So I'm just going to grab about, what's that? Approximately the length of my hand. Put it through, then through here. You can also take a longer piece and turn that into a necklace. Okay. Cute. And you can sign your name here. It says hand painted by, and you can put a number if you're making a lot of them for example, for craft shows or to swap and share with your friends. Now that I've shown you the basics, I want to say a few things. For example, these parts that you cut out, you don't need to throw them away, especially if they are from nice paper. And you can also join two together and create these little charms. I haven't done anything with them, but they are from the heart punch. I've joined two together and then painted them on both sides. I think they look really nice. And one way you can take this even further, for example, if you want to make jewelry that you're going to sell, I would suggest in that case invest in some UV resin. I'll just give you a few examples. These ones were completely covered with resin on both sides. Okay, I think they're just gorgeous and they make beautiful earrings. I bought these earring pieces, these hooks, and I simply added a jump ring and attached it, and I've put UV resin on both sides. Okay, I think they're just gorgeous. Really like them. Over here I've used UV resin just where the heart is. Okay, the rest is just with matte nail polish, and I've attached them to these key rings. Got a few more examples of these with UV resin, and with this one I only put the resin where the butterfly is and the rest is matte nail polish. And I have a few more examples of that. I've got this one, that one, and those two. And with those two, I just want to say this. You know how we were putting glitter on the inside of that cutout? In this case, I've actually added glitter on the outside. Okay, so I've painted everything but the inside bit with nail polish, with clear nail polish, and then I sprinkled glitter. Once that was dry, I simply poured UV resin on the inside, and the paper, the green paper underneath, is actually my own marbled paper. So I didn't have to paint the inside at all. I simply poured the resin over and left the glitter on the outside, and I think I love these the most. And then I've got this one. I haven't done the resin on that side because I wanted to show you the difference. That's without the resin, that's with the resin, and that's the glitter on the inside. Forgot to show you these two. These were done just with nail polish. I think they're really good as paper clips. I would show you how to do the resin on top of these, but unfortunately this morning when I was preparing for the video, I broke my UV lamp. It's fried completely. I think I overused it and it just started burning. I nearly started a fire. Lucky I was in my studio, so I can't do that now, and I don't want to wait until the new one arrives. So maybe that's for a different video. We'll do UV resin some other time. If you make any of these charms in any form or size and you don't mind share it with us in our Facebook group, Crafting with Saacibo. I would love to see what you come up with. Also, I plan to use a lot of these in the future journals, so you will probably see them attached to ephemera or to my journal. So that is my first video for this year. Isn't it charming? I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you soon in the next one. Bye for now.